All right, good morning, everyone. Dan here with tradingology.com and the trading room for April 20th, 2021, coming to you. Good to see you guys on this fine Tuesday. We get the doors open up here. As usual, we have Dave joining us, who's coming to us from the leader of the Strong Market team, who does a lot of research and analysis, designed many technical indicators that we leverage in our trading over the years. Good to see you this morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dan. Morning, everybody.
Yeah, we got a good crowd rolling in here. Good morning, Andre. Good to see you. Curtis, Mark, good to see you guys. If you got any hot burning questions, let us know. Throw them in the chat. We'll monitor that as we go along here. We'll take a look at what's going on in the market these fine mornings here.
Yeah, a couple of headlines that kind of crossed the tape, caught my interest. It's kind of funny. Nobody ever talks about IBM anymore, but IBM had earnings and it jumped. Interesting, because what does IBM do now? I don't even know.
They're still that international business machine, right? Let's pull up the chart and take a look at it.
I guess so. I think they've actually been down quite a bit.
Oh yeah, look at that.
But now, yeah, they jumped. They jumped last night. For them, that's a pretty big move.
Let's switch it over to a daily here. Take a look.
Yeah, pretty much rolling all the way down since last, October of 2000. Is that 2015? You got over to the left there.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of rolling down.
So kind of the bumpy hill down, and if they can break through 160, they'll be happy again. Start making some higher highs on a daily chart. But yeah, it's a nice gap up there for them for sure.
Never hear about anything about IBM anymore, but I thought that was kind of interesting that they're jumping on this news. The broader markets are down, right?
Yeah, we're definitely starting to had a couple days in a row. That hasn't happened in a long time. We got two red bars forming right now. The Dow Jones is sitting right on the 8 EMA, so we'll see if it finds support there around 33,855. Down 0.5%. The NASDAQ is down about 0.16%. And the SPX is down 0.36 currently. They're all kind of sitting right at that point. Here's one thing I find interesting is as we see the live charts updated, and these are all on daily time frames, as you guys know I'm watching right now. We do have bearish herding currently filled out in the first column on the New York Stock Exchange. And the NASDAQ actually has 5 columns filled out.
Wow,
so
that means it's
more
pretty
bearish
strong.
herding right now.
Yeah, that's strong.
We are negative across the board on supply, demand, and strength. These move much slower in a daily time frame. They're not as erratic as when I watch them on 5-minute time charts, as you guys have seen in the past. So this is taking a look at all the data right now. So we are negative. When we start to get the big declines, we see these strengths go down. I've seen it in a 50, 100 when we take these big downfalls. So
yeah,
we'll see if we find some support here or not right now. But it is earnings right now. Investors are back and forth. I just saw the quick headlines, what they're trying to make of it. Dow's fallen more than 100 points for a second day as investors are shrugging off some strong earnings. So I don't know if people are taking profits, but that's what they like to paint it, right?
That's funny because 100 points, what is that in percentage terms? Like 0.03 maybe?
Yeah, they're showing here 193 at 0.5. So yeah, it'd be 1/4%. It has 100 points.
1/4%, right? Yeah, unbelievable. So, that's big news. Yeah, big news. 100 points now.
And obviously the political turmoil going on with Maxine Waters making some interesting comments of recent with what everyone's watching of the trial going on right now, which is in my backyard. So we're all preparing for potential worst case scenarios if they come out with, who knows what events are going to come out with that. If they come out with a not guilty, I'm living in my camper. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, really, really sad over the last couple of weeks, the number of mass shootings. Like people were, what was the last one? It was in a bar. I mean, 4 people got shot or something like that.
You can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, a couple days before that, 7 or 8 people were shot
at the FedEx location. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's like a rash almost. It's just unbelievable the number of people who are perpetrating these mass shootings of just innocent people just it's a little scary.
Yeah, and I'm not joking when I say if it hits the fan, we're prepared to be mobile if we need to, because I mean
Bugging
there's
out.
in this part right now, like all the major stores are boarded up. They've been boarded up for weeks
Really?
in preparation for more turmoil and unrest. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, yeah, that's a very sad turn of events over the last couple of weeks, and God, my heart goes out to all the families of the victims of these shootings. It's just senseless.
Yeah, there's no point to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's causing, I haven't seen this lack of news on the economic calendar in a while. You know, yesterday and today is literally nothing. I thought maybe Forex Factory was broke here, so I checked the Market Watch one.
Yeah,
No,
really.
there's literally nothing scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow.
Where's all there's suddenly the FOMC parade is gone. And we just have very minor stuff. Well, I shouldn't say minor, but comparatively speaking, when we look at previous weeks
Yeah.
where it's been packed.
Right.
So very little events there, probably because there's too much going on. That may be a potentially, you know, everyone's looking at what's the next black swan, what's going to cause the next, you know, everyone's calling it a tinderbox, and what's going to cause us to cripple this time, and is this the start of it?
Yeah. The
Just
one
know.
thing about black swan events, though, is you don't know it until after it happens.
Yeah, you can't predict it. You know, people that try and predict it, it's like that's like trying to win the lottery.
Yeah, you just don't know.
So just prepare. Like as you guys saw, we were short the markets going into the weekend, had a nice little trade in the futures opening up Sunday night. Nice little gap down. So we closed up a nice little profit there. Had we let it run, it's still been sitting nice. So it'll be my luck that we called it as the top or whatever and had a short, but I'll take the profits off and be happy because this thing could whip anywhere.
Well, we've been talking about these weak internals, and boy, it just continues. We also had what we call a triple top on the MXL indicator on the daily chart or the weekly charts. Yeah, the weekly charts. And so we kind of were thinking that we were going to have a down week this week because of the triple. I don't know if you got that chart anywhere.
On a weekly,
MTXL weekly, yeah, on a Dow.
I don't have that. I probably have the picture that you shot though.
Yeah, you can share the picture maybe if you got that. But we also have a cup and handle on UUP, which you do have a picture of. We could show that. We've had UUP pull back, or the DXY rather. We had the DXY pull back here for about a week and a half. A little bit of a stabilization here, but it's a pretty clear coupled handle. A lot of people are saying, oh, we're going back down to 80 on DXY. UUP is going to go to new lows. But the kind of pullback that we've had here in the bottom that we formed is very much looking like a coupled handle to me, because the handle part should not go below about 50% of the cup, kind of the you know, the depth of the cup there, and we're right at about that now. So it's kind of make or break here over the next few days, whether or not we're going to continue to move higher. We're down just slightly. We were up a little bit today on the DXY. Now we're down a little bit, so it's kind of hovering right around the same area. But if that cup and handle works out, we're going to zoom quite a bit past that 25, 29 level and get up past maybe even to 26.
Yeah, and looking at my favorite tool I keep showing you guys, let me zoom in on this guy. In addition to that cup and handle forming, we are right around, we just touched the 50 and we're coming up on the 618 level. So that could also be a sign of support, then turn right back around. So a lot of things are still lining up for, this is UUP, which looks very similar to the Dixie itself.
Well, if you go back to the DXY, you're on DXY. Okay, good.
Yep, I can see on DXY if you want.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you go back to like the beginning of 2021 there, you see the low that was made. And then when we go over to March, the end of February, the beginning of March, we have a higher low. And then the high right around, looks like January maybe 13th, 14th. No, January. Right? No, back a little bit more. January.
Up here, February.
No, the one before that, the top before that, that one right there. And then,
Okay.
then the one you were just pointing to, if you take a look at those two, we got higher highs. Now we also have another higher high, like in the middle of March there. Yep, March 9th. And then we got another higher high in April. And we still have a higher low if we hold at these levels. So we've got the higher lows, we've got the higher highs, which is the definition of an uptrend.
Definitely.
That is one of the oldest. It was actually created by Charles Dow. He defined an uptrend as higher highs and higher lows. And we're on a daily time frame here, so that's significant. We've had a number of higher highs and a number of higher lows.
And that uptrend won't be broken unless this low is broken. So we'd have to get below 89.68.
That's correct.
So that's what we're watching. So yeah, Andre was saying, are you seeing upwards move potential? Absolutely upwards potential.
Yes.
Currently right now, following that, the target to the upside is 94.214, or to be exact, 94.246. I just drew the green line just slightly under it.
And I think we'll break through that. I think we'll probably go up into the 96 level. I think if you go back even a little bit further, the last low going back to looks like the middle of June of last year, Yeah, so if we break through that 94, there's a couple tops there, but if you go all the way back to the left side, not too far back, but right there, right about there, there's a low right there. Yep, right there on June 9th. That's kind of where I'm kind of looking at the target between that level and the next high that was made after that. That consolidation area right in there is pretty significant because, and so that's kind of where I'm targeting, anywhere from 96 to 97. I think we'll probably, previous consolidation areas will consolidate again. So if we hit that level, we're probably going to consolidate before moving higher. I think we're in a good basing pattern right now in the DXY, and we're probably going to go higher for at least the next year or two.
And that's the slow moving one. It's not a fast train, but once it starts going, the train is hard to stop.
Like in 2018, boy, it shot up pretty fast.
Yeah, when those big events happen, exactly. That's definitely one that to watch for. The potential is there. It's just unusual.
Yep. Now we're down 220 on the YM futures. We're down 24 on the ES.
Yeah, internals are taking a little dive right now. It's at the lowest it's been all day. We just crossed the 1,000 mark. We're negative 1250 in internals, and the volume is all red, stair stepping down. So it looks like they're controlling the sell orders that are coming into the market right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen a stair step down like that in a while. I mean, I thought we were going to get that yesterday, and we ended up kind of red, green, red, green, red, green. But today it's a definite stair step. So market makers must have gotten a ton of sell orders, and they're trying to, try to work it out as best they can without shocking the market.
And we see on that long term, when I was noticing, just open up my charts up this morning, it was about last week or so, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, looks like the 14th. We just about touched this really long-term VIX area.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's kind of bouncing off of that now. We got a fairly decent move up today on the VIX.
Right.
So we're keeping an eye on that. Oh yeah, look at as I wasn't watching, look at the candles on the futures, as you were just mentioning. The ETFs are coming down around support levels. Probably see some bouncing there. Or if it's really bad, it'll cut right through them, but that's less common. But we are below definitely the main pivot points, and we're getting down into the lower bounds. As we see, we've broken 0.5% across the board. The Russell is down 2%.
Yeah, see, that's the indication there that things are not good in the market. If you watch the small caps get hit harder than the large caps, they're the ones usually that go down first. Yeah, that's a big move. and it looks like it's not stopping.
Yeah, that one's breaking right through. It might go down to the third one that's way down. We'll see if it finds support down here at 2140-ish, 2145.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had Bitcoin. Boy, really taking a dive over the weekend. Man, it was. I mean, for I bet even Bitcoin bulls were a little bit shocked. I mean, we hit a high close to 65,000, and within, oh my gosh, within a day, we hit a low of about 51. So we're down close to $14,000 on Bitcoin over the weekend. And it looks like it's consolidating right now between 53 and 57, but not looking real strong here. Yeah, I mean, a short time frame, I mean, that doesn't look too bad on a daily, but we still went from 65,000 down to 51.
Yeah, here's the major levels I'm watching for the cryptos right now. Is if that breaks 40, the green bar's in the way, 46,294. If it gets below that, then it's in serious trouble. Right now, it's touched the 618 retracement 2 days ago, and we'll see where it's going right now. It's kind of hovering right there, but that obviously a large down move, and it has touched the green one, but we never made it back to the green, so we'll see.
Yeah,
it's kind of in a sideways pattern almost now, but it is a lower low. It's got to break that one too, like we were just talking. So we're just watching those technical indicators. Same thing goes for other cryptos out there. Let me pull this one back, and everyone's favorite that's holding it, they got to watch out for 84 cents. I saw a tweet, someone saying they'll be happy if it goes to 80. They shouldn't be happy if it goes to 80. 80 is a bad sign. They want to stay above 84.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the daily. So we're really been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 days there. What's the percentage drop from that $2 level?
40%.
Yeah.
As of the low for the day. Currently it's sitting at about 35% drop.
Right. Interesting. Shout out to my buddy Scott, Price Action Profits, who he's when XRP hit $1, it was just under $1 there. He was calling for $1.70 on XRP.
It's amazing how the systems work, right? You start looking at data.
Yep. And I believe you have a link to that course, the Price Action Profits.
I do.
If you guys haven't checked that out, a lot of what Dan is using with Fibonacci, Scott uses with what he calls quadrants. And you put those two together, man, you've got a really, really nice system to determine where price is headed.
Yeah, I'll have a link below for this and the members. There's links inside our members site. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check that out. It's great to have that knowledge in your tool chest. It just becomes second nature, and you start to see things after you understand how he looks at things and does his technical analysis. So it's a great learning one for sure.
Absolutely.
Any questions, let us know on that one. The other one that people like watching that I know a few members have is VET.
Yes, yes. So VET looks pretty strong here. We did have all the cryptos pulled back this weekend. I mean, I was watching, Link and OMG and HBAR and BTT and VET. But VET actually, whenever it dipped down, it started coming back up again. So I'm still bullish on VET. I still like it. I mean, it's just got a great looking chart here. Every time it dipped down, it came back up again. I think they got a great business model. I think they're really, they're kicking butt. I think they're really doing very, very well here. A lot of development. I don't know what the target, you got a nice target up there around 37.
Yep, that's the target right now. As long as it stays above the 12, it doesn't break that line, we'll be fine. It almost had a pull back to the purple, the 0.786, which would have made a new target of 31, just shy of 32. But yeah, its target is still 0.37. So that's
very
a decent move there.
Yeah, very doable, I think.
And XLM's kind of the same boat as the rest of them. We don't have to pull that one up. Yeah, that's a quick look at cryptos as we pull back to the regular market and kind of stabilize and kind of hanging out.
SPY hit its lower boundary. Looks like the Q's hit the lower boundary too. So might get a little bounce on the ETFs.
Yeah, the diamonds is broken through. So the diamonds in the IWM over here, the ETF for the Russell 2000, they're headed down to the third level. Whether that continues, we will see. Obviously, it's not advice to say sell it because it's going lower, but that's the probability right now. And as we look at the full indexes, same thing kind of holds true. Here's one thing I did notice as well. This was a very extended MT synth indicator, where normally that's our bell curve that goes back and forth, right? That we've seen many times. Very extended to the upside. Today's the first day that we're starting to paint a red bar on
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So we've got bearish herding indicated by the red dots there under the market timer balance of power BOP, and then we've got the supply demand index, we've got the strength index, they're all pointing down, and now we're below -10 on the supply demand, which indicates institutional selling, and on the Dow.
Yeah, look how much that's changed in the 20 minutes we've been talking. Strength is now double digits.
Yep. That's institutional selling coming in here.
And it looks like we'll see where it finishes, but right now it's broken through that 8 EMA. And everyone knows we're so far above the long-term ones. Look at how far back. I think this is the 50. Yeah, this is the 50-day moving average. We're so far above that. So here was we were looking at this a few days ago. If it broke this,
yeah,
we were taking longs. It's been a nice ride. Now that ride's over. So get off the train because it might be jumping back down because it's no longer support. So it might be time to take pause once again. And as we've seen recently, if I have it, I moved that one. We'll touch on that one. Then we'll probably wrap her up for the day. Is in case you guys missed it, we did hit that 25 not too long ago on the SPY VIX. And today, currently, it's now at 21 as the SPY is dropping, but it actually almost got to 26. So we'll see if this comes to fruition or not. This was just me comparing potential downside. So will we go down to 320-ish? We'll find out.
Yeah, we got a divergence too on that SPY VIX indicator because we hit a little bit of a higher high back in March of 2020. Now we still hit 25, which is that warning indicator, but it's a lower high. But the market has gone past that on the upside. So that's a divergence that you really need to pay attention to. Just like back in 2018.
Yeah. Almost 1,500 negative now, passing 1,500. It's like running an elevator.
Yeah.
We're going down.
Or an auction. Do I hear 1,500? Do I hear 1,600? Do I hear 1,600? Do I hear 17? Yeah, we're kind of moving down kind of quick here.
Andre says, how do you measure this? Which part were we looking at when you asked that, Andre? How do I measure what? The bubble that I was looking at in the SPY VIX? I measured that in comparison to how much it dropped previously, percentage-wise. So when we dropped in 2018 from this high down to this drop, this was, I forget if it was 20% or whatever. So this percentage drop is the same percentage as what this is drawn. That's how I measured that. Or if you're talking about the indicator itself, it's literally the SPY minus the VIX.
Well, it's the formula for it is pretty simple. It's not just SPY minus the VIX, it's the ratio of the price of the SPY divided by the ratio by the VIX itself. So yeah, I said 25. So, I mean, you could open that up and show them what the formula is. It's not terribly complicated. It's pretty easy. But what it does, instead, if you took just the SPY minus the VIX, which you can do on TOS, it will give you it'll give you a number like 340, whatever the difference is between the SPY and the VIX. But in this case, we're taking the ratio of the SPY to the VIX. And so when the SPY is 25 times more than the VIX, that is an indication on a long-term basis that we're oversold. And when it's under 10, the ratio between, like if the SPY is at 100 and the VIX is at, 80, then the ratio is very small. It's like 1 point something. And so it would indicate a potential buy opportunity. Same thing happened in 2008. In, I believe it was February or March of 2008, the SPY VIX went under 10. It was actually negative for a while, which means that the VIX was higher than the SPY.
Wow.
Rate basis higher than the SPY. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. And so whenever in March of 2020, it got down to 3.25. That's a pretty good buy signal on a long-term basis if you're a longer-term trader or investor. So the reason I created it was to help me stay out of stocks when things are oversold like they are now, and then get back into stocks when they're more reasonably priced compared to the level of volatility. To me, volatility is everything in the market. It's just kind of the what do you call it? It's the what's that? I don't know. You're into boating, the steering thing in the back of the boat. What do you call it?
The rudder.
The rudder. It's the rudder of the market.
Yes, he meant overbought, Andre. You are right, because everything is overbought right now.
Yeah, overbought. Yes, overbought. And it's oversold in March of 2020. Yes.
Which is also why, they're making headlines of, the investors are shrugging off the strong earnings because they know everything's overbought. They're looking for someone to sell it to.
Right.
Which is the retail trader. So that's why we try to warn you guys. All right.
Funny enough, another report I saw was that retail traders have backed off on their long positions and call buying. I mean, they were buying calls like crazy back in February and March, and now they're kind of backing off, maybe because they lost money. So, yes.
All right, gentlemen, we appreciate you coming out. As always, look for us in the channels. If you got questions, shoot us emails, however you need to. And we'll probably wrap her up for today. We'll be back on Thursday to see what the latest is then. Until then, trade safe, and we'll see you in the Slack channels.
Yep. See you guys. Be safe. Take care again.
See you, Dave.